Hi guys, so good evening and welcome back to my magical world. It's me, Frostbite Goddess, your favorite celebrity here in the Philippines. So good evening. It's 23:32 in the evening, syempre. And today is January 30, 2025. So I hope you are doing better than yesterday, or just so you know those feelings. So um we are still continue we are still continuously doing our routine, which is reading. I'm still reading for you and you're still listening, and we are growing together. Growing, taray. So yeah, basically that's what we do. You grow older and I become more youthful every day. Anyways, guys, we are reading 147 and 148 yan. Let's put a circle. Okay, so listen up. Later na tayo chumika. Yeah. Sige na, checkahin ko naman kayo. There is something that an important matter that annoys you. So it's work related. So you know as a Sagittarius, you know that when sometimes, guys, when you hear the women who talk about the nature of Sagittarius, they are quite on point. So it just makes you smirk and makes you realize that sometimes you're like a time bomb, and you know you just can't stop it when it's your time. Don't worry about what I'm saying, guys. I'm just a little bit annoyed. No, like 99.9% annoyed.
Hello, billionaire.
So let's just continue. Okay. So it's not something you need to worry about. It's something I should be worried about. No, not really. It's nothing, it's nothing really important. That's why it's making me annoyed. It's a nuisance. It's an annoyance because it's not really important, but they kind of like making a big deal out of it, and they don't give clear instructions. So I don't like it when someone is like asking for revisions without you know putting remarks, or just clear instruction. I want clarity at all times. I mean, who doesn't, right? So when dealing with people, you will often encounter particular problems that will tend to make you emotional and lock you into naive perspective. Such problems include unexpected political battles, superficial judgments of your character based on appearances, or petty minded criticisms of your work. The following four essential strategies developed by masters past and present will help you to meet these inevitable challenges and maintain the rational mindset necessary for social intelligence. First one, the very first is speak through your work. So, ito muna tayo sa letter A. My gosh. Yan, letter A muna tayo, guys. So, in 1846, a 28-year-old Hungarian doctor named Ignaz Semmelweis, Semmelweis, I don't know yung pronunciation. You gotta be a German for you to correct me. you know. Sige. Wait lang. Yan. Semua-wise, if you're going to correct me, guys, it's okay. I mean, if you're right, of course, I value that. Semua-wise began work as an assistant in the obstetrics department of the University of Vienna. And almost from the beginning, he was a man obsessed. The great disease that plagued the maternity wards in Europe at the time was that of childbed fever. And so at the hospital where young Semmelweis worked, 1 in 6 mothers died of the disease shortly after giving birth. When their bodies were dissected, doctors would discover the same whitish pus that smelled horrifically, an unusual amount of putrid flesh. Seeing the effects of the disease on almost daily basis, Semmelweis could think of nothing. He would devote himself to solving the riddle of its origin. Parang narinig ko na tong kwento. Just can't remember. At the time, the most common explanation for the cause of disease revolved around the idea of airborne particles ingested through the lungs brought on the fever, but to Semmelweis, these made no sense. The epidemics of childbed fever did not seem to depend on weather, atmospheric conditions, or anything in the air. He noted, as did a few others, that the incidence was much higher among women who had their babies delivered by a doctor as opposite to a midwife. Parang ano ata to? Yung madumi yung kamay. Di ko lang sure. Let's read. Sa ano ko lang. Baka lang yun. Pero, let's check kung if it's correct. Nobody could explain the reason for such a difference, and few seemed perturbed by this. After much thinking and studying the literature of the subject, Semmelweis came to the starting conclusion that it was direct hand-to-hand contact between doctor and the patient that caused the disease, a revolutionary concept at the time. As he was formulating the theory, an event occurred that seemed to prove it conclusively. A leading doctor in the department had been accidentally pricked in the finger by a knife while conducting an autopsy on a woman who had childbed fever, and the doctor died within a few days of a massive infection. When they dissected the body, he had the same white pus and putrid flesh as the woman. So parang tama ako. It now seemed clear to Semmelweis that in the autopsy room, the physical hands became infected, and in examining the women and delivering the babies, they passed the disease into the woman's blood through various open wounds. The physicians were literally poisoning their patients with childbed fever. If this was the cause, it would be simple to solve. Doctors should have washed and disinfect their hand before handling any patients. A practice no one followed in the hospital at that time. So medyo matagal na to. Imagine, let's go back to the date, 1846. So dito pa lang nila realize that they need something. First of all, they need to cleanse their hands, diba? Alam niyo yung mga sa Korean, if you're watching Korean drama, yung tinatas ng doctors yung kamay nila, they wash their hands, there is a designated area for that before they actually enter the operating room or emergency room, or I don't know, kung depende kung anong room, ICU, yung NICU, I don't know, bahala kayo guys, basta yun. So dito pa lang nila na-realize yun. Feeling ko kapag nasa medical field kayo, you've already heard this story. So kapag hindi pa, kulang pa yung knowledge mo. Kasi parang basic to. I don't know what year. Kasi medyo familiar nga sa akin. So, andito pala to. Sa book na to. Weird. So, he instituted this practice in his ward, and the number of mortalities was instantly half. Okay? So, nangalahati na agad. So on the brink of perhaps a major discovery in science, the connection between germs and contagious disease, Semmelweis seemed to be on his way to an illustrious career. But there was one problem. The head of the department, Johann Klein, was a most conservative gentleman who wanted his doctors to adhere to strict medical orthodoxies established by previous practice. He believed that Semmelweis was an inexperienced doctor turned radical who wanted to overturn the establishment and make a name for himself in the process. Semmelweis argued with him incessantly over the subject of childbed fever, and when the young man finally promulgated his theory, Klein became furious. The implication was that doctors, including Klein himself, had been murdering their patients, and this was too much to take. Klein himself ascribed the lower number of mortalities in Semmelweis ward to a new ventilation system he had installed. When in 1849, Semmelweis' assistantship was nearing its end, Klein refused to renew it, essentially leaving the young man without a job. By now, however, Semmelweis had gained several key allies within the medical department, particularly among the younger set. They urged him to conduct some controlled experiments to strengthen his case and then to write up his findings in a book that would spread his theory throughout Europe. Semmelweis, however, could not turn his attention away from the battle with Klein. Day by day, his anger rose. Klein's adherence to a ridiculous and disproven theory about the fever was criminal. Such blindness to the truth made his blood boil. How could one man have such power in his field? Why should Semmelweis have to take so much of his time to do experiments and write books when the truth was already so apparent? He decided instead to give a series of lectures on the subject, in which he could also express his scorn toward the close-mindedness of so many in the profession. Doctors from all over Europe attended Semmelweis' lectures, although some remained skeptical. He won over more converts to his cause. His allies at the university pressed him to continue the momentum by doing more research and by writing a book on his theory. But within a few months of the lectures, and for reasons no one could understand, Semmelweis suddenly left town and returned to his native Budapest, where he found a university and medical position that had eluded him in Vienna. Okay, so di pa natin natapos yung entire dapat matapusin ko na. Wait lang guys. Let me check. Okay. Huwag na muna natin tapusin. Masyado mahaba. Okay, let's cut it there. So, ayun na nga. Syempre, when you are doing really something right, hindi mo siya hahayaang parang mabaliwala na lang. I think you will do all the things that you can until you exhaust yourself. Kapag talagang hindi na kaya and it's not really working, maybe you can stop it. But feeling ko, yung mga taong, doing something right and they think that they are doing this for the masses, for, the many, for the good of the many. So, feeling ko hindi talaga sila titigil. And eventually, they will be able to get what they want. I mean, to disseminate information that are factual based. Ganon. So, I'm just saying. Yan. So, ayan guys. Ano natin? Wala naman. So, how are you guys? I hope you are doing better. Ano bang ginawa ko ngayon? Wala. Nothing much. Wait lang. May dapat akong kunin from a certain outlet. But So, hindi ko pa siya naaasikaso. And, ano ba? I think yun lang. Sana bukas I may be able to have time for that. Ano ba? Feeling ko may dapat ako sa inyong sabihin. But I can't really remember. So, let's not really worry about it. Thank you guys for listening and thank you for helping me make this world a better place for all of us and for the future generation. Baka sumegway ako ng topic next time para ma-delete ko na dito sa phone ko. But, we're still doing our same routine. We're still reading the book on the right pages. So you just need to follow me. Follow me, subscribe. I'll see you again. You get some good rest. Kasi tomorrow is an amazing day. Friday.